where like Alex Honnold, he like climbs El Capitan in Yosemite.
Dude, I didn't understand a single word.
Aren't there's like 2 operating systems?
Oh, she sells like digital artworks and stuff.
Oh, yeah, you dabbled in a bit of that as well.
Dabbled.
Profited nicely.
I went balls deep.
Welcome back to Critical Banter, the podcast that brings a Friday drinks chat to you. This week's episode, we've got a lovely little game, Guess Who? We've all prepared some people and some clues, and we've just got to guess who the person is. Second segment, compare and contrast our tier list segment. Today we'll be doing some Gen Z hobbies, so stay tuned for that. But before that, Trap the Week, we've got me and Miguel, we have Ro.
G'day.
We don't have Kush, but we have Seni.
Hello, boys. We've changed our intro again. Second time in 4 weeks we've changed our intro.
After not changing it for like 3 years, dude. It's unreal.
You know what they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But we've tried to fix it twice now.
We weren't inclusive, dare I suggest.
Is that what the feedback was after the first one?
Well, yeah, there's got people who DM'd us and was like, I'm not an Aussie. Because the previous intro was the show for Aussie corporates by Aussie corporates. Now, half of that is true. We are Aussie corporates. But the show is not just for Aussie corporates.
That is true.
And that was the feedback that we received. We got DMs, multiple DMs saying, I'm not from Australia. I'm not corporate. Can I listen to your podcast?
Of course. Well, of course you can.
Well, there's no real rules. Like you can do whatever you want in this world, really. But we thought, okay, we're going to change it up again. And so what's the intro mix?
Bringing the Friday drinks chat to you.
Is that a better, more accurate
It's more
description?
apt. It's more encapsulating.
More inclusive. We're all
everything.
about.
Inclusive of the audience and the content, to be fair as well. Not just about Aussie corporates. Every week, as we said, Friday drinks chat to you. Every week we'll have a new drink as well, just to add a little spice.
So what are we drinking today, Manu?
Speaking of spice, this week we have water.
Well,
We're all on the waters.
Cheers to that, I say.
You know what? Well, cheers. Why not? Cheers, Seni. How's the water?
refreshing is what it sounds like.
Anyways, that's the new intro.
Look,
Let us know if it's actually exclusive somehow.
Exactly. Housekeeping out of the way. Sen, please. You got yarns apparently for today.
I've got one very quick one. Had a corporate event during the week, speaking of. It was a networking one. I've had another networking event. This time I was actually invited by our good friend Rohan. So it was mostly a law event. Our friend is a lawyer and he invited a lot of his other corporate friends. And I got there and I didn't realize that Rohan is actually a celebrity now. Many people came up to him saying, "Oh, Rohan, are you the guy from the podcast?"
Oh, it's not from his great work in the law industry.
No. It's from the viral videos that we've had recently about him comparing Sydney and Melbourne. And so Rohan's become a bit of a mini celebrity within his law firm. Mostly them taking the piss out of him, but still, nonetheless, celebrity status.
Well, let's lift the hood, right?
Yeah, I was about to say, let's do that.
Let's do that. Because exclusively, if you're on Instagram and you're on TikTok, you just see the clips. You see Rohan's face. But let's give you an inner working on what happened that episode. So a few episodes ago, Kush let us know that he could not make the podcast.
I think first Sen gave us the heads up maybe Monday, weekend before, right? And I think Kushy, a few days before, hit us with I can't make it either. Our typical rule is we need 3. Two's Pokemon Smash or Pass territory.
We're never going back to 2.
And we can't do that. So Ro and I were scratching our heads of what to do.
And we decided, all right, Rohan from Melbourne, he's back in town. We've had him on before. We know he's a good guest. We thought, why not bring him on to do a little Sydney versus Melbourne comparison? You know, maybe that could be a little fun segment that we do on the podcast. Very last minute, we sent him we literally gave him no information. We said, we're gonna compare Sydney and Melbourne. We don't know what the category comparisons are. We don't know anything really.
We were at his house the night before, confirming that, can you come?
Bring a suit jacket.
And that's it. That's all the information we gave him. Then on the episode, we did, I don't know what episode it was. It was a couple episodes ago. You could probably find it pretty easily.
Yeah, it was only maybe 4 weeks ago, I would say.
And we did a couple of different things. We did like an inflation game where we, figured out what the price of Big Macs were 20 years ago and then what they are today. And then we did like a Sydney versus Melbourne comparing Making Friends. We put Melbourne versus Sydney head to head against on,
food, fashion, culture,
all those sorts of things, right? And we just uploaded what we do, right? We edited 7 TikToks. We put them on Instagram and TikTok. And I think there was like multiple millions of views on those videos. And they all had Rohan's face on it.
He was the main character in those TikToks. So I may just helping out his friends,
Yeah.
hopping on their pod in a time of need. Turns out he's viral and now getting made fun of at work.
What was the chat like?
Oh, it was just more that, like the sarcastic, oh, Rohan, are you the guy from the podcast? Are you the guy who talked about Melbourne and Sydney? That sort of stuff.
You reckon because you were there as well, the chat was elevated?
Yeah, I think
They
so.
didn't even know Sam. They didn't even recognize this guy.
I got recognized by one person.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
Sen wasn't in the video.
Yeah,
so-
exactly. I will say the event, though, horrific from them. 6 to 8, the event was meant to be. So
Yeah.
the drinks was meant to stop at 8. They had like beers, wines, Aperol Spritz. Beautiful. By 7:20, they cut us off the Aperol Spritz and it was just down to beers and wines.
It's because the bar tab's done.
And I'm like, mate, just give me, Prosecco, the Aperol, and soda water separately. I'll make it myself. And like, nah, can't do that. So that was a bit of an L of an event, I must say.
People started leaving at 7. What was the networking?
Yeah, it was just networking.
So there were no speakers or anything.
And I networked by talking to the 2 other people that I knew there. And
Fantastic work.
not the 300 other people there. But no, it was actually pretty good. It was free food and drinks. Can't complain.
Yeah.
But it was egregious from them to cut us off the Aperol about 40 minutes before the event was supposed to end.
It's all right. I feel like the networking events, you're not really there to network, really,
No,
are you? You're
God,
there
no.
for the free food.
Yes.
What was the food like?
Especially like your normal canapé. So they had little slider burgers. They had like prawn cocktails. They had spring rolls, arancini.
Mate,
It was
it
great.
sounds delightful
Oh,
event, I
and
gotta
chicken
say.
tenders on a stick, which were banger. So good. We were camped outside in front of the kitchen, just waiting for the food to come out. It was beautiful. But yeah, the Aperol, that really robbed me the wrong way.
Speaking of getting rubbed the wrong way,
Hey,
I was at the gym for the first time in a while and I got out of my car from the car park. I looked inside the car next to me. There's a kid playing on his little iPad. I'm like, oh, okay, fair enough. I then proceeded to finish my workout, which took approximately an hour. I came back. Kid is still there by himself in the car playing his iPad. And so the quick mind your manners, what's the deal with Child Protective Services and if you're allowed to just like keep your kid locked in the car without the windows down for over an hour?
I think that was going to be my first question. Was there a little crack in the
Crack
window?
the window, yeah.
I didn't see any crack, mate. Kid playing Mario Kart, Super Smash.
That's fine. The kid's got entertainment. He'll be fine. He probably didn't even notice that the hour went by.
I don't know. Just
Does it make it right?
exactly.
Yeah, of course.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Oh, I don't know. I felt very uncomfortable because I was like, he's been in there because I arrived. I don't know how long he's been in there before that.
What were you going to do?
I don't know, man. You see like all these stories about like, dogs dying in
dying.
the car and kids dying in the car because they just can't breathe.
Yeah, but that's because it's a really hot day.
Yeah.
When did you go, Ro?
It was the morning.
What's the feel of the day? Is it cold?
I-
Hot? Was temperature in danger of life?
Definitely not. It was
well, then mind your own banners. Mind your business.
Yeah, mind your own manners, mate. Was this place was the parent definitely at the gym? Like, was it like a gym? Was it gym by like offices and like shops and shit, or was it strictly?
there's shops nearby, but I would say the car park was specifically dedicated for that gym. So I'm sure the parent was in the gym.
I've
There's no
seen
way.
sometimes the parents bring the kids
I was
into
going
the
to say,
gym.
when you just bring the kid in,
Like in the little waiting area. That's where they play on the iPad.
That's where they should be, I feel.
or maybe there's a little menace.
Do you remember the video of my wallet getting stolen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an old story, Jesus.
In that video at the gym, there's a little kid watching the crime happen.
And
Not
didn't
saying
say a
thing.
word.
Didn't say a word.
Little knock.
You know, maybe he should be locked in the car. How long can you lock a kid in the car is now my next question.
I would say probably hour and a half.
That's a long time, dude.
I did say I think it has to be under like 15 minutes.
Or depends on how much battery is on that iPad. I think that's probably how you go about it.
It's the
If
most
it's at 100%, you can say a couple hours then.
anything longer than a quick run into the shops, buy some bread.
Yeah.
You got to bring the kid.
Even that, I reckon you'd bring the kid.
I don't think the kid mind, to be honest, if you ask
That's
him.
not the question.
Yeah, I don't care. The kid obviously
The kid is having the time of his life, not
So,
walking around.
what's
not
the
a care
problem?
in the world.
What's the problem then?
I'm just saying from a parenting perspective, is this the right thing to do?
Yeah. Dude, the iPad looks after the kid. The doors are locked. What more do you want?
What about the airflow, mate? What if in times of danger?
Kid's not going to suffocate in 40 minutes.
Look, we're not going to convince Sen apparently.
No, you're not.
Send multiple hours.
Sen and
maybe.
child safety is like a weird relationship.
But that reminds me, I was in the restaurant as well. Speaking of like kids getting parents to buy their iPads, it's an epidemic. I got to say, Roblox is the new game that these kids play.
Oh, yeah.
Have you played that?
No,
I haven't played it, but I've seen plenty.
Yeah.
So I was like a family friend's little event at at their house, And all the kids, the underage kids who were like, between the ages of, can I not say underage?
You didn't need to say underage kids.
Yeah, and you didn't need to lick,
just said kids.
and you didn't need to lick your lips when you said it.
They were playing iPads. They were playing Roblox together. And that feels like the new little socialized activity. They don't really talk. They just play.
They talk on Roblox, probably.
They were mutes at the dinner.
Yeah.
As in they were chatting in Roblox probably because there are other people on the Roblox game. They're probably not in the room, man. They don't want to exclude them.
Yeah, I don't know. It just felt a bit off,
I know one of my I talked about this at work this week, and one of my bosses said one of the funniest things I've heard. So she's like, "Oh, I don't let my son play Roblox. Like he's only 6 or something. He's like, oh, I let him play Minecraft, but Roblox, like, because Minecraft is mostly single player." And she's like, "Oh, I don't let him play Roblox because that you can like play multiplayer with random creeps." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, like that's pretty. I've heard there's like some pretty horror stories." She's like, "Oh, but to be honest, I'm not that scared of him getting groomed. He can't even read." So I'm like, "Mommy, what's this man saying to me?"
See the thing how
that's a crazy thing to say.
It was the gnarliest thing I've heard.
You see the thing about how Kim Kardashian's kid got bullied on Roblox? No. So like on Roblox, right? So the North, maybe, I don't know. One of the kids,
not Saint,
maybe could be Saint. Actually, I don't know. Whatever. They're on Roblox, and obviously it's open world. Anyone can do anything. You can customize things, whatever. And apparently there were some people like fucking following around Kim's kid saying, "I've got your mum's next sex tape."
That's crazy.
What?
And that's gnarly. So then the kid showed Kim the video, and then obviously Kim starts breaking down and
Which
panicking
video?
and shit.
AJ.
Yeah, right.
Like the Roblox world.
One of the
And
meanest videos of all time.
what are your thoughts on the video, Seth?
Nah, don't worry about it. But how do they know that they're Kim Kardashian's son?
Well, I don't know. There was
His username seriously can't be Northwest or whatever.
in some nefarious way got to the kid. I don't know.
Or he just goes around to everyone and just says it. Yeah, because
Hidden hope.
yeah, literally. Yeah, it's like, I fucked your mom or whatever. Like, you just say that to everyone. And it just happened to be he had a famous mom.
I think it was a bit more specific than fucked your mum.
Oh, yeah.
All right, enough about Kim Kardashian. Look, we got a Frisbee update. We haven't had a Frisbee update in a while. If you're new to the podcast, basically, Kush convinced us all to play Ultimate Frisbee.
He's been trying for years.
Yeah, and so we finally relented. We play Frisbee at 8:30 at Lane Cove.
Yeah, come. Blackman Park, 8:30.
What? I think we have one more game left. Anyways,
We also don't have enough players, so if you show up, you will be on the field.
Yeah, you'll get a run.
so basically, we've been giving Frisbee updates. We actually won the first game and we thought, wow, this is the greatest sport. And it was actually quite fun because it was a competitive game. We won like 9-7, very tight. Then for the next like 10 to 12 weeks, we then proceeded to get reamed by every team. We did a giveaway where people could predict what score we got pasted by. The score was 17-2. And so we have one final game, and I want to get your boys' thoughts just as reflections of the season. Where do we stand on Ultimate Frisbee as a sport? Will you be playing again next season?
Well, the answer to the second question is no.
Yeah.
We'll not be playing next
That's
season.
the easy one.
But definitely within this association. What are they called? North Sydney Northern Suburbs
Yeah.
Association. Kush was telling us season before they had 3 divisions, right? And this season they'd have 6 divisions. But instead of making it 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6, they made Division 1 is 1, Division 2 is Division 3, and Division 3 is Division 6.
Correct.
I could be wrong, but that's how stupid it is, right? So then we got into the wrong division. Coordinator told us nothing, apparently. Kush sent multiple emails, got no response. And then all of a sudden we're in a division where half the teams are Div 3, half the teams are Div 6, 8:30, fucking an hour away. Not enjoyable experience.
8:30 to 10, 10:30?
No, I think it is. Yeah, it's like
Meant to end at 9:55, but the other teams enjoy reaming us so much they play till like 10:05.
No. The craziest part was like one day, I don't know if you guys remember, but it was bucketing down. Like it was like the dead set, there was a thunderstorm and it was just pouring down.
Yeah.
For some reason, the council left the ground open,
I still don't get that.
but it was pouring. And we messaged the other team. We're like, hey, we're probably just going to call it tonight. Like no one really wants to play Frisbee for an hour and a half in like torrential rain. And these other guys replied with, I was really keen for a little run around in the rain.
I think that was meant to be a joke.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit of a joke.
Was it?
I don't think they will. No, that's surely a joke. It has to be. They're not crazy enough to be running around.
Okay.
But that team was a really good team that loved
Which team
to
was
play.
that?
Manchester.
Oh, was it? You know what? Then never mind. They were being
Because
serious.
it's them and that they're really good and they love to play, they play till the whistle and they play by all the rules, might not have been a
Play
joke.
to the whistle, bro. There is no whistle.
Their own whistle.
But yeah, then I agree. Then they were being dead serious. Yeah, I don't know. My issues with this sport, there's so many where to begin, but I just think the lack of organization and rules and officiating is probably what irks me the most.
Yeah, my problem, again, is with the association. The sport itself,
Yeah, the sport itself
against similar skilled people, probably a lovely time.
so fun. Yeah. I agree. But it's, again, coming up against nerds. And then one week, we get double teamed. And then next week after that, we tried that against another team. And then they called us out for doing not knowing the rules. And apparently you're not allowed to double team. Were you there that week, right?
No, I wasn't there.
Oh, mate.
So do you remember all the weeks we've been getting double teamed, triple teamed, because they know we can't throw,
Yes.
right? Then, we're losing by 10 or something. Then, Sen and I are just coming up with audacious plans. Let's throw it here. Let's just throw it to the whole length of the field. Let's triple team everyone, right? And then we decide we'll double team their best player.
Because they only had one good player.
Right.
And it was working so well. Every time Manu and Kush were double teaming this guy and he was just forcing it to throw long or throw outrageous throws and they were turning it over.
Hail Mary throws.
Hail Marys, and it was working. We were putting the pressure on.
So the first time we double teamed them, he goes, "Oh, you're double teaming." Then he couldn't get his throw off. Then we did it again, couldn't get his throw off.
And we scored one or two off him,
right?
the turnovers.
And then the third time we do it, as soon as I get anywhere near him, he calls it, "Guys, that's a foul." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And then he goes on, "You actually can't double team. It's in the rules, blah, blah, blah." And then Kush is annoyed. He's like, "Every other team has double teamed us." And this guy's like, "Oh, I don't really care what." Oh, no, he's like, "I don't know what happened in the other games, but I know in the rules, you're not allowed to double team."
Okay.
So, I think we've been taken advantage of by our lack of knowledge of any rules.
And then the other teams mark us down for not knowing the rules, even though they exploited us.
Well, I don't know what the rules are. This is exactly, and it comes down to the self-officiation of this sport.
Yeah.
That's where I draw the line. The problem is, it's a fun sport, but if there's no ref, it's just glorified lunchtimes.
Yeah.
And we have to put the cones out ourselves as well.
My problem is it's a social sport that's trying to be competitive. Either stay social, no rules, no refs, just play for fun. Or if you want to be a competition, you need to have officiating, people that set up the fields, actual end times, not just playing until whenever you feel like it.
Yeah, that's true.
My friends, today's game is Guess Who. So all of us here, we've prepared 2 people each. We have 5 clues per person. And we will read each clue one by one. And you can buzz in at any time and you can guess a person. If you guess, the earlier you guess, the more points you get. So first clue, you get 5. If you need 2 clues, you get 4 points. If you need 3 clues, you get 3, etc., etc. Most points at the end win. Is that everything we need to go through, boys?
That's absolutely clear.
We'll be using buzzers. Senny, what's your buzzer sound?
Okay. Very short buzzer sound.
I couldn't even tell you what that is.
Oh, I don't know what it is either.
Rowie.
I just yelled into it.
Lock it in, Eddie.
You will lock it in, and mine is.
Did you get your dog to bark into it?
What did you just call me? We'll let Rowie go first with both of his people. So take us away, Ro.
All right, lads. Who am I? I began as a janitor in the kitchen of a renowned restaurant, unaware of the adventure ahead.
Sounds like a
Damn, this is like a novella, dude.
mystery novel. Sherlock Holmes. Does this guy die in the end?
Turn to page 3, Ro.
Second clue. I'm clumsy and inexperienced, and I am an unlikely candidate to continue a gastronomic legacy. Do you want to guess?
I think I know who, but I don't know the name.
Is his name Linguini from Ratatouille?
It is Linguini from Ratatouille.
Let's go.
I knew it was that person. I just forgot the name.
I was going to say Luigi, but I'm like, it's not Luigi, is it?
Wait, how did you know that? Of gastronomic legacy?
It's just the way you were describing it.
Yeah, it's the way you were talking, man.
It was too, it seemed like a fictional narrative. You know what I mean? It didn't seem like real life.
And that's the only person I knew who was a bum in the kitchen.
Correct.
It was going to go on to great things.
It was either the rat or the human. It was a 50-50.
All right, do you want me to read out the other clues or not?
Yeah, let's hear
Yeah,
that.
go on.
3 is an accidental hero in a culinary world. He finds his fate tied to a secret sous chef.
Man's reading like the fucking synopsis
I was
going to
say,
dude.
it sounds like a film review, something that Kush would write.
No, I won't read off the rest, but it's correct. Linguini is correct. You got it on the second guess.
4 points.
4 points.
Wow.
Who am I? I began my ascent to prominence with a strong educational foundation, including degrees from Princeton and Harvard Law. Clue number 2. I initiated the Let's Move campaign which aim to end childhood obesity within a generation?
I thought this was Harvey Specter.
I thought it was Harvey Specter as well.
Suits is having a bit of resurgence. Have you seen that?
I did. I see a lot of TikToks now about Suits.
Wow.
Clue number 3. Her book, Becoming, became the number 1 best-selling book in the US within 15 days.
I know who it is, but I'm let
I don't know who it is.
Is it Michelle Obama?
It is Michelle Obama.
Fictional character.
Damn.
So that was clue 3, Sen. So that's 3 points to you.
Alrighty, my turn. Got 2 for you. First one. Who am I? I was adopted.
That's it.
That's it. Figure it out from that.
I was adopted.
How many famous adopted people? I'll give you a hint. It's a real person.
Is it that kid from The Blind Side?
What's his name? Big Mike.
Big Mike?
It's not Big
It's
Mike.
not Big Mike. Nothing's ringing a bell.
Right,
Please.
second one. I spent 7 months traveling around India, eventually adopting Buddhism.
The Dalai Lama.
Not the Dalai Lama.
Is it like Richard Brand?
No, not Richard Brand.
I met him at an airport in Goa. Just
What?
quietly. Yeah. When I
You
was
met
very young.
Richard Brand?
Yeah.
Really?
Mhm.
How was he?
As in,
Adopted?
he didn't say anything about adoption, but he was traveling India and apparently he loves it.
Ah.
Fair enough. Third clue. I am
Sorry, not Richard Brand. Russell Brand is who I'm talking about.
Yes.
Yeah,
correct.
yeah.
Richard Branson and Russell Brand.
Yeah,
Correct.
that's the one.
Third clue. I am a pescatarian.
Dude, I don't know these guys' lifestyle habits.
Adopted Buddhist pescatarian. You ain't know that?
Pescatarian. Dude, this guy's rigging it so he wins. So we get on the last clue, so we just get 1 point each. Okay.
Pescatarian.
Buddhist Indian. I can't even tell male or female yet. Any danger? All right.
All right. I am the most famous college dropout in world's history.
The most famous college dropout. Am I Steve Jobs?
Yes, I am Steve Jobs.
Let's go.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was going to go Billy G, mate.
All right.
The score is 7-2.
All right. Next one. I was born in 1946 in New York.
He didn't hope at this point, dude.
Am I Betty White?
No, you're not Betty White.
Am I Jerry Seinfeld?
No, you're not.
1946.
You think Jerry Seinfeld's that
on.
old?
He's getting on.
He's like 60 maybe.
I did my maths wrong anyway. move
Yeah,
on.
okay. Next. I've appeared in over 60 TV shows and movies from the 80s to now.
Am I Meryl Streep?
No.
Am I? Oh, what's the guy's name? The midget.
No. Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito.
No, not Danny DeVito. Third clue. I am a billionaire. Think Ro was first.
Am I Warren Buffett?
No.
Oh, you said TV shows.
Yeah.
What am I thinking?
Donald Trump.
Yes, I am
Oh.
Donald Trump.
Okay, let's go. 3 for me, I think.
3 points.
All right, 7.
That was an easy one.
Yeah, that was an easy one. I don't know. I was rattled because I thought it was so easy. I'm on 2, Migs on 3, Sen's on 7. So it's really between me and you right now.
You need to
Sen.
clutch up, bro, to get a dub here against Senia. I got my 2. You ready, boys?
Let's go.
First person. Who am I? I was born in England on the 1st of February 1994 with 4 nipples.
Then places the buzzer down
Yeah.
after the 4 nipples. 4 nipples.
Is this someone we know?
You'll know this person. Next clue. I'm the first man to appear solo on the cover of Vogue.
My Harry Styles.
You are Harry Styles.
He's got 4 nipples.
Yeah, I think I vaguely remember reading that somewhere.
Well done.
Yeah.
That's crazy, son. That's fair play. I expect to
What
read
was
more
your next
clues.
clue?
My first public appearance was on X Factor in 2010.
I may have got it from that club. I probably would have got it from that club.
You reckon?
But
Okay.
yeah, just from the fact
I
that
thought it was
he's
Britain's Got Talent.
from X Factor, mate.
X
He got
Factor, mate.
him and a bunch of other misfits just got chucked in together in X Factor.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Seni's run away with it.
So this one's for fun.
We'll play for fun. All right, last person. Who am I? I started my career at Oxford United and was scouted by Rangers.
This is so targeted. Am I David Beckham?
Scouted by Rangers.
Rangers.
Oh, wait, let me.
Go on, have another one.
Am I Tim Cahill?
You're not Tim Cahill.
Am I Joey Barton?
You're not Joey Biden. All
All
right,
right.
next one. I'm also a black belt in karate and a best-selling author.
I know Zlatan has a black belt in something.
Not Zlatan.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
All right, next one. I have multiple restaurants and restaurant chains earning 17 Michelin stars.
Did he play football?
Gordon Ramsay played
Gordon
football.
Ramsay.
Right, Gordon Ramsay did play football,
Did
started
he?
his career.
I did not know that.
Well done. He cooked his knee. That's why he stopped playing football.
I don't know that at all.
There you go,
Dude.
fun facts.
So he actually could have gone pro if he got scouted by Rangers.
Yeah.
Decent.
Well done, Sam. That's a massive win for you. Gordon Ramsay, man of multi-talent, it seems.
Black belt as well.
Yeah.
Damn.
All sorts.
Very talented man.
"2024 is here in full swing, and that means it's time for a New Year's resolution check-in with our friends at Manscaped. Newsflash, it's never too late to level up your grooming game and keep your bush tamed. Manscaped's new Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra is every man's cheat code to look good, feel good, and turn the page on confidence this year. Whether you're going for a trim or that clean-shaven look, the trimmer has you covered. Trusted by over 10 million men worldwide, now is your time to get a grip on your grooming with our exclusive offer. Go to manscaped.com and use code TCB for 20% off and free shipping. The ball has dropped, but don't drop the ball on your balls. Introducing the MVP of 2024, Manscaped 5th generation lawnmower. It's not just a trimmer, it's your grooming sidekick. Equipped with 2 skin-safe blade heads, a standard one for taking a little off the top, and a new foil blade to go smooth wherever your heart desires. It's like having a personal stylist at your fingertips or wherever you need it. Ro, what is our call to action again for today?
Ladies and gentlemen, head over onto manscaped.com, use the code TCB, and we're going to give you free shipping and 20% off all products.
Wow.
Manscaped.com, TCB.
You know what time it is. It's time for Compare and Contrast, the tier list segment. All right. Last time we were out here, we did chocolates. You want to review how we went with chocolates, Karo? You on here, so.
I disagreed heavily with your tier list about chocolates.
Oh, actually?
Yeah, I didn't think Cherry Up was that bad.
Yeah.
I think Twix was placed way too low.
Okay.
I actually agreed with Manu a lot of the time, to be honest. Cadbury.
But he had cherry ripe at the bottom.
Aside
the
from that.
Right, the Milky Bar should have been up there.
No.
Dairy Milk should have been up there.
No. Actually, no, Dairy Milk, looking back, I probably agree on that one.
Yeah, Twix should have been up there.
Nah, Twix is so hit and miss, I feel.
But
Yeah, we could go on.
here.
We could go on for hours about where things should be.
Enough about the chocolate tier list. We put out a poll on Instagram a few weeks ago asking what should we tier list next? And wow, we got so many responses.
Came in your droves, man.
We actually
Unreal.
got 20 separate people who wrote in to the Sydney train lines. So I don't know what you guys think of us here.
Dude, yeah. How can we review Sydney train lines?
What
That's
could
outrageous.
I possibly be saying about Milson's Point? That hasn't
Wilson's Point versus Epping. Go on. Exactly.
I got nothing. So if you do see us tier listing the Sydney train lines, you know that we've hit rock bottom.
Wait, lines or stations?
It would have to be stations. Because what? Northern Line versus
That's what I was
City
thinking.
Circle.
Yeah.
Damn, dude, that's a matchup.
City Circle has to win. Just
One thing, when we do put out these calls on Instagram, look, some people treat it like a little comedy show for themselves.
We got about 10 that said TCB hosts.
Yeah, rank your mutual friends,
rank each other's
religions,
mums.
yeah, rank each other's mums.
That's
Outrageous.
crazy.
But keep sending in.
Yeah, please keep saying it. We actually have, it's quite funny to be honest.
Anyway, what we landed on, and someone did submit this, was Gen Z hobbies. Hobbies, guys. Stuff we do outside of your normal regular 9 to 5. So we've got a list of about, dare I suggest 12, maybe even 15. And we're going to go through.
Which one is it?
It's actually 13. Now that I've done a quick maths on it, it's 13. So we're going to go through and we're going to tier list them. As per usual, our tier lists are, the top one is GOAT. The second top one is good. In the middle is serviceable. Second last is last resort. And as per usual, the bottom is trash tier. So we'll begin. First up, we have running.
Biggest trend of corporate 2024, I feel.
Yeah.
Every man and their dog is either running, run club.
Run club.
Dude, it's a pandemic.
But I got to say, maybe it's a good pandemic.
I don't know. Can you explain what a run club is, maybe for people who don't know what it
So
is?
there's this club, right?
Shush.
No, so basically it's a club where they say every Saturday, 7 a.m. we'll meet at
7 a.m. Hey, I'm seeing 5 a.m., 4 a.m., 3:45 a.m.
Well, you got different levels of difficulty and, experience, but whatever time, wherever place we meet here every Saturday and we'll run 5, 10, 15 meters, kilometers, whatever it may be.
But why? Why do people join these run clubs? And why is it all of a sudden become so popular?
You know what I've heard? Run clubs are the new dating apps.
So the unofficial run club is like a run club here in Sydney. I think it's like the most popular one.
Wait, that's the name of it.
Yeah. They get like 1,500 people rocking up doing the run every morning.
What?
Yeah. Or like whenever they do it every week. And they had like a Valentine's event day where you wear like green if you're single.
Like a
You wear-
traffic light.
Yeah,
Type
type
sitch.
party. Yeah. So people are really leaning into that run club. But I would say, right? Run clubs is not about the running. It's about the pastries afterwards. It's about the swim at, the beach afterwards.
So it's a social aspect.
Correct. And you just feel good because you start your day off with a nice run. You've done like 3 different things and it's only 7 a.m.
Yeah, you burn off 100 calories in the morning and then you eat like 1,000 calories worth at brunch after.
Exactly.
What
It's the
about
balance?
The people who start run clubs, is it profitable for them? Because they're free, right?
Where's the profit though? Yeah.
So are they making money? Or are they doing it for the goodness and
No, so what I heard, there was this run club that was started by within like a media agency, like an advertising agency, whatever. And then every week, they get the employees of the company to go on a run. And they got so big. And then one of their clients were Under Armour, that Under Armour sponsored their run club. So
Really?
every person in the run club got Under Armour head to toe.
That's pretty cool.
So profit could be made.
Yeah, okay.
I like this. I think running is a good activity. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Like I don't personally run.
Are you in a run club? No?
No, I don't think there's any around my area. Or it's not like, the thing is, there may be stuff around my area, but it's not the same vibe.
No.
You're not running like, and you can see the water. You're not running and you can see the bridge. You can't like have a
Yeah.
dip in the water afterwards. That's like the fun part of a run.
Running down Windsor Road doesn't hit the same.
No,
does it?
it doesn't.
So running itself was saying,
I think it's a great hobby.
But
And
what-
I think also one thing about, forget the run clubs, right? I've started like just stalking people on Strava and I really like doing it.
Okay, for the not uninitiated, what's Strava?
No, everyone knows what Strava is.
No,
bro.
that is such a niche app to use.
It's
not
a,
everyone knows Strava.
it's just look, it's like the Instagram for your like activities. So you're like cycling, you're running, you're swimming, and you can just see how like far people run, how fast they run.
So you track your run. I will go out run 5Ks. I'll track it. You can see it on the map and then all of yous can see it.
Yeah.
Basically
Froth
that
it.
app.
You give kudos as well if you want.
Oh, can you?
Yeah.
And there's like leaderboards as well, right?
Yeah, there's like leaderboards and like, I don't know, challenges and stuff.
But why is Run Club at like 5 o'clock in the morning? Why can't we do it during the day or in the afternoon?
It's too hot.
Productivity, mate. Start the day right.
You sound anti-run club or
No, no, no.
anti-running in general.
No. I'm not anti. I'm just baffled by this.
I don't believe in the hype. I run every now and again. Good little hobby, but I don't believe in the start a club. Let's make it a whole social thing.
Yeah, surely this fad is going to die out in the next year or so.
I think so, but I think what is beautiful about running is it's just a free activity that you can just do by yourself. You can do it with people. You can do it like anywhere. It's accessible.
Is running a hobby?
Yeah.
It is.
Is it?
Yeah, because you like usually people like training for something potentially.
Right.
They'll be training for like, oh, let's do the Sydney Morning Herald half marathon,
And then
the
you can-
Hocker 10.
And then you can buy stuff for it, like new shoes, new vests, stuff like that. Hobby. Go on. What's a hobby? Define
I
it.
want to find the definition of a hobby. Okay,
So we've
wait.
seen the ones that are coming, mate. There's some
If
loose.
this is not a hobby, brother, we should just can the segment because there's a lot of non-hobbies.
Well, according to Oxford Dictionary, a hobby is a small horse or pony. So
Oh, okay. Yeah.
no, it says an activity done regularly in one's leisure time for pleasure.
Yeah.
People enjoy running.
But you said people going there for dating, for nefarious reasons.
Look, if you can find your love of your life, after a run, who am I to say that's
All
not a
right.
hobby?
Where are we putting running then?
I want to put running as good. Honestly, push and goat, like key.
I'm happy to put in good, to be
It's not
honest.
goat.
It's not goat.
I could say good. It's a healthy, regular. It's free.
Mm.
Anyone can do it. You can just go out in the street and do it. I think it's good. Yeah.
I'm happy to live with that. Next up, food influencer.
All right. This is really, we're just throwing stones here at
This
this
is
point.
so niche. How many food influencers do you know personally?
I think,
A couple.
yeah,
Personally.
Yeah.
I think everyone has had the idea, like, let me review food. And
Oh.
there was a phase at Instagram, there was heaps of times where people just popped in like, oh, now here's my food page. Go follow my food page. I'm making food. I'm reviewing food. Because anyone can do it. Do you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
don't really need to be like talented. It's something just fun. You're going to eat at restaurants anyway. So you may as well review the food.
Every second person has had a go at some sort of, we've had a go at food influencing,
But
but
I would still say we are.
The premiere.
Yeah,
No,
no,
we're
we're not.
But everyone loves, as Rose said, create a second account. You take photos of your food anyway. Might as well
Yeah.
put up as a review.
But you're not trying to review the food, are you? You're just putting it, you're just sharing where you've eaten.
But why make a second account? Why curate posts to have a rating system?
Well, we have a food influencer in our soccer team, and I can only describe his marketing as aggressive. He pays for Instagram marketing. So I'm getting ads for his Instagram page, even though I already follow it.
you're going off that. Yeah. You know, every person is having a go on an account, running ads, etc. But what I will say, if you are one of the ones that make it out, my God, are you living the life? You're getting DM requests from every second restaurant, new restaurants, opening restaurants, big restaurants. They want you there.
From us podcasters.
Exactly.
Can I just put one counterpoint? Right?
Go on.
Yeah, you get all the invites to these restaurants, but really you're a full-time eater. And I'm wondering how the weight fluctuates.
Okay, hang on. Firstly, aren't we all full-time eaters?
No, but
Yeah, we all do it 3 times a day, champ.
They just film it.
no, but they film like food that is maybe not healthy as such. They're just eating at the trendiest restaurants.
Yeah, okay.
So like, yeah, it sounds all well and good, but I'm thinking like 6 months of being a food influencer, I reckon you're putting on the kegs.
Now, here's another counterpoint to your counterpoint.
Okay.
You know,
Join the
Matt
run club.
Stoney,
Yeah, I know Matt Stoney.
competitive eater.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's to train for competitive eating. He's eating like, 100 pieces of KFC type vibe, that volume.
Dude.
And he's as skinny as a fucking twig.
How that guy hasn't died yet, I actually don't know. Like, it
Yeah.
doesn't make sense. You can't eat that much and like the volume of like that greasy, like unhealthy food and not have a heart condition at this point.
I think there is high danger of gaining some weight, but I think if you don't want to, you can work around it.
Well, I just wanted to put that in the consideration.
That's
okay?
fair. But does that outweigh, getting invites for all these restaurants plus getting a bag for doing it as well?
But I think it's embarrassing. For me, like it's just the embarrassment factor.
If I was-
Embarrassment of what? Right.
Like you're at the restaurant and like, yeah, the meal gets put in, it's beautiful food or whatever. And you've got to sit here now recording this. And this is the thing that food influencers do, right? They record themselves and then they'll put the food in their mouth and they'll be like, so good. Or like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, it just feels cringe.
Do you know who has the most over the top reactions? The Mark Weens
Don't
guy.
say Mark Weens.
Dude, that
He's
guy-
my king.
No, I like him. I actually really like him. But his like facial reactions whenever he eats food is comical. Like it looks like a Disney reaction.
It's also because the camera's right up at his face. It's the
Yeah.
whole frame.
I don't think it's embarrassing because these guys are doing it for a living. It's like if someone came and watched you doing your job, right? You know what I mean? Like if people know
How embarrassing, Ray. You open up the spreadsheet.
these guys have like 100,000s of followers, so people know who they are. They know what they're doing.
But
So
then
it's
what
not-
if you have like 600 followers?
Then yeah, I think there's no. But at some point you have to lose the shame, right? Like if you want to really.
But my job, the difference, okay, look, I agree. I think it's a great thing. You get extremely good perks, but I'm saying you have to suffer the shame and the cringe
On the way up.
on the way up.
Correct. But you have to, right? Otherwise, you're not going to make it. So if you really, truly want to pursue it, you have to just suck it up.
I don't know. You said if someone watches my job, would I be embarrassed? No, I wouldn't be embarrassed because it's not in public.
Because you're
not-
asleep half the time.
You're not really making a scene. I don't know.
I don't know. My issue with the food influencers, and I said this before, is that there's no value add with what they say. They're not actually critically reviewing the food. It's not like a Gordon Ramsay on MasterChef saying, you need more salt, blah, 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 blah. They're
Matt
just,
Preston, this is disgusting. Disgustingly good.
yeah, there's none of
drop.
that. It's just,
Wait,
they're just
so, like,
eating the food and that's it.
A video at a restaurant, they go in, they try the fucking pad thai and they say, oh, it's a 6 out of 10. It's good. Oh, no. They don't even
They
give
won't,
ratings.
they won't even say that. They'll just have a few superlatives. Oh, this is amazing. This is good. And that's it. That's all it is.
Try it. Give it a go.
Exactly.
But also, how many times have you found a restaurant through food influencers?
Countless.
Oh, yeah, so many.
Is that not the value add to your life, Sen? They're opening your eyes to this plethora of restaurants and places to eat that you would not have known about
Yeah,
without
that's
their
fair.
existence.
That is fair.
But I will say, because it's so accessible, I think, and also people like trying to make a career out of it as it's like this, it's a hobby, but really you're trying to get famous. Like that's the end goal of
Oh,
this.
yeah.
I will say it's too saturated.
It's oversaturated to bits, man.
So that's why, I don't know, if we're going to put it in a tier list, I don't know where I can put this. Like, I don't think it's good. I think it's a serviceable hobby.
It's serviceable only for the small percentage who actually make it big.
It's,
No.
it's good / goat
Sorry,
for
correct,
the
correct,
2%
sorry.
or even 0.5%
So
that make
therefore
it
for
to those levels.
That, so surely because only such a small percentage actually make it into a viable living, that has to have, like,
Yeah, the average food influencer serviceable. You go eat, you take a couple photos, couple of videos, you put it up, you get some views, maybe one restaurant DMs you. That's all right. Serviceable.
Next hobby is being a car guy.
So we're talking here people that have their base car and they mod it, they photos of it, all that, right?
Yeah, you know, the people who meet up in like the Lidcombe Krispy Kreme car park for meetups.
Yeah, burnouts in the car
Yeah.
park and whatnot. Oh, look, I've never been into cars, and I think you are a little bit into cars.
I like cars, but I wouldn't say I'm into cars like these people, but I think it's a cool hobby. I think it's a very expensive hobby.
Yeah.
It's a disgustingly expensive hobby.
Yeah.
So I remember being in the car of like one of our mates when we were just out of uni, and like he's a car guy, modded his car, and he's telling me how much, this part in my car makes the engine a bit louder. That was a couple K.
Yeah.
And then the suspension's a bit lower. That was a couple K. And then all this. And I'm like, brother, you're a tutor. How are you affording all of this?
That's the thing. One thing I respect about this hobby is if you're into it, you're really into it. There's no people who half-ass this hobby. Like everyone there is like fully passionate and into it. And it's not like, for example, food influencers, like we said, you can have people who just like kind of don't do it, take it seriously, and they never make it. With the car guys, they're in 100%.
You know what I don't get? People that have like a 2010 Honda Getz or something, a Honda Jazz, and that's what they mod. That I don't get.
I've never seen that.
No, I've seen like little shitbox cars, but their engine's fucking loud and all that.
Really?
Yeah.
But I think like people don't mod. If you're into cars, you mod the right ones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so the Gats must have been like there'd be like 6,000.
Like, it's not like
cars.
a Nissan Skyline and
it's
shit like that.
The GTRs or your WRXs.
I've seen normal average cars modded.
That's hilarious.
There's like, I see a lot of car photography, and I got to say,
It looks cool.
it looks pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
I got to say, like some of the stuff that they put up there is pretty sick. But I got to say, like, I don't know, driving cars fast and just like being obnoxiously loud, not for me personally.
I think it's cool. But I feel like there's two camps of the car guys. There's the young guys who are into like you said, your Nissan Skylines and all that. And then there's the older Aussie guys who's into like the vintage, Holden Commodores or your Mustangs. So there's two camps, I think, in the car industry.
To go out on a limb, I think it's a bit cringe. I think the whole car vibe is a bit cringe, dude.
That's a hot take, and we're going to get some comments about that.
That's fine. Come at me. I don't care. I drive a Honda Civic.
What do you find cringe about it?
People that like make a whole like Instagram account for their car, and then their handle is their license plate, and then in their bio it's their license plate. It's like their whole personality is the fucking license plate. No, genuinely,
it's a bit of harmless fun. They're not hurting anyone.
I never said I was getting harmed.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's a bit. Maybe I just don't get it, but a bit cringe to me.
I have to agree with Manu here, to be honest. Like I don't really understand it. And it doesn't really seem that fun to just like sink in crazy cash. Like the speed limit's like 110. You're modding this car for what? Where are you driving it?
Yeah, but it sounds
to beat
cool.
the Sydney traffic or something.
Yeah.
It looks cool and it sounds cool. Also,
I actually don't think it sounds cool. It looks cool. Granted, give you that. Does it sound cool?
yes, are you crazy? I don't know. How much of your life do you spend driving?
Yeah, like a lot.
A fair bit. So you might as well get into a machine that you enjoy, that you've spent, hours of time and money into building into a nice, beautiful machine.
So car manufacturers are for.
Yeah.
They build a solid build of a car that I can plug and play.
For me, this is in trash.
No, definitely not in trash.
I could sway to trash as well.
What's the
right?
one above trash?
I think it's a last resort.
Yeah, if you have no personality, you can jump to this as your last resort of getting one. Yeah, maybe.
All right, can we put myself in the clip saying that I'm all for cars and I don't want to get flamed like these two?
Manny, what do you want to do?
I want to put in trash.
I want to put it in trash too.
All right, car goes into trash. All right, next up we have going to the gym. Is gym a hobby?
A lot of people make it a hobby.
Much like I asked with running, is exercise a hobby?
It has to be.
Yeah.
Because if you get asked, what do you do outside of work? If you go to the gym, you say, I work out, I go to the gym.
If you're spending like 4 to 6 days a week in a gym, that's a significant portion of your week.
But isn't this the same as the car people? Like I know people who make gym their entire personality. Like what's his name on TikTok? Jimmy Swole, whatever his name is.
Joey Swole.
Joey Swole, yeah.
That's fine. It's his own community.
Again, I like the health aspects that going to the gym comes with.
Yeah.
I'm sure that many people who go to the gym probably have like body dysmorphia and stuff like that. And without
We
a doubt
won't
in my
touch
mind.
on that.
Serious conditions.
Yeah. But I would just say this is it's not a special hobby. It's just really kind of table stakes. Like you should be doing this.
Is gymming a hobby that you do on your own or do you do it with other people?
There's just beauty of it. You can do it on your own when you only have time, but if you make it a social thing, it's its own thing as well.
I don't find the gym that fun.
Yeah.
But people get really into it because I guess you can see progress. That's the thing. Sorry, going back to the car, like the hobby, you can just see yourself getting better.
Yeah.
Whereas like the cars, I don't know, you see your car getting better?
Yeah,
Like,
you can
what?
see it. You can.
Bro, you do see your car getting better.
The performance of the car gets better.
All right, forget the cars. Still stuck on that. I think the gym is a good hobby. You're feeling healthy. I think it's not a lot of money, which makes it nice.
Accessible.
Exactly.
Hobby for all.
And you can like, I don't know, you can sink some money in if you want to go to like a better gym and stuff.
Oh, I thought you were going to say to buy some gear or something.
That's if you're, expert level.
Is it a hobby for all? I've heard that gyms can be a bit toxic,
Well, that's a downside. The gym itself, you got to find the right gym if you're.
So the actual building itself is quite.
Yeah, like the cheaper gyms where anyone can go and it's like they're just open all the time. That's a bit. You run into some crowds there, but I'm sure if you're a bit self-conscious, you might have to pay a little extra, but you can go to gyms, I guess.
Is gym pay to win? So if you do get on the gear and stuff like that.
Yeah, it is, I suppose.
Until you get a heart attack.
Oh.
Exactly.
The thing I like about gym though as well is like there's regular classic gyms, like your Anytimes, your Fitness First, this sort of stuff. And then there's like hyper specialized, like CrossFit gyms. There's like calisthenics gyms.
Pilates. Does that count?
No. But like you can basically like, it's choose your own adventure type thing.
Right.
You don't have to be like locked in. When you think gym, obviously you think just kind of like building hypertrophy weights, that sort of
Yeah,
stuff.
it's not just pushing weight and getting big, dude. You can do it for anything.
Yeah.
Barry's boot camp, F45, that sort of stuff. Or is that again?
Nah,
doesn't.
No,
Really
we're talking about just different types of training, right? You can do like plyometrics, jump with weight and stuff. That'll get you quicker and faster, that sort of thing. It's not just I can bench more, my chest is going to get bigger. That's what I mean by it's for all, for sport, for getting big, trimming down, et cetera, et cetera.
The one fad, and this is actually absolutely a fad, there's stretching gyms where you can pay a measly $50 a week to just have machines where you can, essentially just stretch your hamstrings, stretch your calves.
I had a free trial somewhere like that, but someone would stretch you out.
Okay.
Make it that way you will. But it's like how when you go to the physio, they're like massage you a little in that? Similar vibe, but they just stretch your
like
hamstring.
a chiropractor.
Yeah, but they don't crack your back. But
Isn't that what they did in the medieval times? They put you on the board and they just stretch you out.
It's like execution.
Yeah.
And it's like assisted stretching and it costs an arm and a leg as well, but they open up everywhere. So I don't know if it's popular or if it's a racketeering, but that's just an aside.
Has gym always been a popular hobby, you reckon? Or can I put it down to Ziz and his influence
No,
here?
I think it's timeless.
Absolutely.
It's a timeless hobby.
So it's not like running where it'll die out maybe in a year or two. It'll always be there.
People that run will run in the gym.
All right. So where are we putting gym on the tier list?
Gym, honestly, I think it might have to go GOAT, dude, just because of how universal it is,
Yeah.
how accessible it is,
Yeah.
health benefits, mental and physical.
Yeah.
Anyone can do it.
Timeless.
Timeless. Has been a fad and it will continue to be.
Relatively cheap as well and low barrier to entry.
Exactly. And all sorts of training you can do at the gym. I think it's GOAT.
Next up, we have lifestyle influencing. Again, I don't know how this is any different to food influencing.
You got people that do fashion and like,
But get ready with me's.
yeah, like how to get into the gym. Not actually, like showing you how to the gym. They're more about someone that just goes to the gym, like that sort of influencing. Just general day-to-day vlogging, I guess.
See, this one, I don't know anyone personally who does this.
This one is people that just want to be famous.
This is the lowest form of influencing.
Like there's no actual talent.
No.
Like there's no theme, there's nothing. They just want to be famous. And once you're famous, it's self-sufficient.
See, I swear to God, I see so many of these people on my Instagram or TikTok, and they're devoid of personality. How do they become that big? I just don't get it. Are they relatable? Were they relatable at one point? Were they interesting at one point? I don't know.
There's like two types of lifestyle influencing. There's like the relatable aspect of it.
Yep.
And then there's like the aspirational aspect of it.
Right.
So they fall into two categories, right? The aspirational people watch because it's like, I don't know, these people will buy designer handbags.
I was going to say they have like ostentatious wealth on display. Yeah,
pretty much.
yeah.
And then the relatable is more like, it's like relatable where they wake up a little bit earlier than you and they do a little bit of journaling.
Oh,
They're like for the common man type vibe.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, this is how I make my life so much better. It's a difficult one.
do people like that actually exist? Unironically, they're the people who get up at 6 and they journal and then they
I'm
meditate.
sure there are.
100%.
I'm sure there are. The people that actually do it don't, put it up on the internet. They just do it.
Yeah.
So we're talking like the Alex Earls of the world and those sort of people.
Yeah, that sort of stuff.
Right.
I
don't hold this in high regard.
No, neither do I. But it's also really, like, again, I spoke about cringe filming food content.
Yeah.
It's really hard filming lifestyle content because you have to like set the tripod. Let's say like your lifestyle vlogging your run. You then like run past the tripod, double back, pick it up, then go to the next shot. Like it's a full-time job.
Have you seen the ones where like this girl was crying because her boyfriend broke up with her and then like all the comments like, So what? You broke up, you set up a camera, and then you started crying for the camera, like uncontrollably.
So that's what I can't get out of my head when I watch these videos.
Dude, I saw one where it's like there's this mum and there's this son and their dog died. And obviously the son is inconsolable. But then the mum's like full vlogging it. And then, camera sign in the son's face, whatever they vlog. And at the end is like, oh, let's get a thumbnail face.
No,
They put that in the video?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if but it's out in the public somehow.
That's fucked.
So then he's still full crying. And then she makes a face and bang, thumbnail photo. So are we including like family? Is like family vlogs in this?
It's all in it.
Bro, family channels are the worst channels on the internet.
The thing is, right, on YouTube, they all have like millions and millions of subscribers though.
The perfect family.
Yeah.
You compare your family with, the Joneses?
Dude, how arrogant do you have to be to think, oh, my life is so interesting, I want to start vlogging it and people will watch?
Look, I don't mind the concept of lifestyle blogging. I just think it's not a very sustainable concept.
What do you mean?
Really, right? When you're vlogging your lifestyle, there's heaps of periods where you're just doing nothing.
But that's the thing. Anything is content for them.
No, but no one's really doing that. Like, you just feel like you have to be doing stuff. It like promotes a very unhealthy image of what a lifestyle is.
Dude, I've seen this girl on TikTok. She's got a couple of million, and one of her videos is just her doing her grocery shopping. That's all.
That's genius. I'm not going to lie.
So anything is content for them.
But that's not really how, I don't know. I've never seen people who blow up just doing.
Obviously, I think she was
Grocery
obviously big
shopping.
before.
That was like the golden era of YouTube. Counterpoint, golden era of YouTube. I loved Casey Neistat.
Yeah, I was going to say, Casey Neistat literally vlogged every single day, didn't he?
And then we look at the UK YouTube scene, like the Marcus Butlers of the world, the Zoellas. They're like, do they fall under lifestyle influencer? Maybe?
Yeah,
Nah,
big
they
time.
do like comedy stuff.
Who, Casey Neistat?
Not Casey Neistat. He's obviously a lifestyle influencer.
Yeah.
I never watched any of these lifestyle influencers. I never watched any of the daily vlogs of people. I had no interest in that.
Yeah, okay.
That's its whole era. Well, let's put that era aside. Common day, modern day lifestyle influencing, I can't get around.
It's trash.
Dude, if I saw someone I knew started doing that, I think I'd lose a lot of respect for them.
Nah, not that much, but it's just not really fun. Like, it's just hard and it's not really that entertaining to listen to or watch.
So where are we putting it?
And for me, it's trash.
It is trash.
All right, next up, we have sports betting. Is this a hobby?
Sen, you're a regular. Your definition of hobby was
Something
on the
you-
regular in leisure time for pleasure.
We could have just said watching sport is a hobby, but
No,
we've
no,
gone
I
one
think-
step further.
I think there's another pandemic of sports betting.
Yeah, I saw this stat the other day where New South Wales makes up 0.2% of the world's population, but we have 37% of the world's poker machines.
Wow.
So there is a absolute massive gambling problem in this country. What I don't get is, dude, so I think in the US, gambling was never legal, right? Or it wasn't widespread.
Prohibition.
But I feel like in the last few years, they've started getting like Stake and like
Dude,
those kind of,
everything is sponsored by like Stake,
or FanDuel or whatever.
Prize Picks.
But it's becoming big in the US now. And
No,
so now,
gambling was always legal. I think there was some rules around like online casinos.
Right,
And like
okay.
some states you're allowed to have it and some states you're not allowed to have it. But that stuff is not sports betting. That's like, is Stake sports betting? I thought it was like
Yeah.
a crypto thing.
They-
stuff.
Stake has sports betting.
they have sports betting, yeah.
Okay.
But it's gone to the point where people are like abusing athletes on the field because they lost their multi. See that?
Yeah.
In basketball, that's huge.
Yeah, last week, mate, Jason Stanger came out and said he got hate mail because he got all out for 15. Literal hate mail.
That's a blight of sports betting.
But Sen, you sports bet. Why do you do it?
It's for a bit of fun. You know, it's for sport that you don't normally care about, but you're watching it. And so you need to feel something. So therefore you have to put real money on it to therefore back one of the teams or back a certain result.
So you like what? Football, footy, cricket. You're not betting on those because you love those sports, right? You don't need something to feel.
Yeah, exactly. Those sports I probably wouldn't bet on, but it's stuff like basketball, for example. I'm not the biggest basketball fan, but fuck, if you give me an over under 218 points for the line for the whole game, match points, absolutely I'm taking it. You know, PRA points, rebounds, assists, again, I'm taking it. And stuff like horse racing, you know, Melbourne Cup. Who really watches horse racing? But that one day of the year, you better believe I'm betting on race 1 to 10 at Melbourne.
I had a friend who was like a professional gambler.
That's
he
not a
would-
thing.
Synonym for degenerate.
No.
Well, explain to me what a professional gambler is.
He basically like, he looks for arbitrage opportunities in all these different like brokers. So he'll go to Lad Bets, what's it called? Ladbrokes,
Broke.
Sportsbet, TAB, and he'll basically just like constantly scan for different opportunities and then make money that way.
Dude, how much? So he does this full time. This is his job.
No, not
They've
really.
clamped down on it these days.
And I thought a lot of them have the same like odds for all their markets, like or very off by 1 or 2 cents.
There's like bonus bets and promotions that people get, which like make the odds kind of tilt in your favor a little bit more.
I think there was a couple of years where it wasn't clued on about arbitrage yet. So, these companies were just thinking about themselves, putting out random bonus bets, random this, random that. But yeah, people like that realize if you combine them, make money. Didn't you do it once?
Yeah. For the NRL Grand Final, I do it, but like that's with small sums of money, not like thousands of dollars. But you get banned like pretty quickly off these.
Can I just say, Sportsbet have the best marketing in Australia.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
It's unbelievably predatory, but it's also very entertaining.
I started listening to a Sportsbet podcast about the cricket.
Is it the Grubs?
The Grubs, yeah. Little hammy over there. I don't know. The blokes that they get on there are just very charming fellas who make really good content. And like, I really have no desire to gamble, but I imagine if you're into gambling and you're just seeing these guys just have a laugh and talking about betting just so casually, you'd be willing to put in thousands of dollars.
I love the way that they changed the narrative. Before it was like you used to gamble on your own. It's something you did in the secret, a dirty little thing. But now it's gamble with your mates. You can have a group, and you can have a group chat within Sportsbet itself.
Yeah, you've got a bloody Sportsbet group chat with the boys. Yeah, well, everyone puts their money in and everyone can just bet with each other's money.
Correct.
Fantastic. You can lose your friends' money.
They've done an absolute, this is a masterclass.
Yeah, you don't have to lose your money anymore. Lose other people's money.
And then there's a chat inside where you can talk about whose money you lost.
I met someone who works at Sportsbet recently, and they told me that. So I asked, oh my God, sure you get mad perks, sure you get free bonus bets, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, nah, I got our Sportsbet accounts. We have actual, they've set deposit limits on us. And you can't remove it. So I'm like, it's a fair play. Everyone else, go ahead, lose as much money as you want. But if you're an employee,
yeah, mate, but not be losing your money.
And apparently their marketing team gets flown out everywhere. Apparently they're all going to Las Vegas for the NRL this week to go watch and get free corporate boxes, blah blah blah. They get flown out to go watch cricket, NBA. So anyway, if anyone's hiring at Sportsbet in the marketing department, you need 3 people.
Going back to the original points,
yes,
around feeling something.
Yes.
And that's why people do it.
Yeah.
In good conscience, I can't have that. And I can't have the problems that gambling comes with and say that it's worth the kind of squeeze sort of thing.
The juice isn't worth the squeeze, you would say.
Yeah. So where are we putting sports betting as a hobby?
It has to be trash.
It has to be. Dude.
It's pure degeneracy. But if you're on a run, it's a pretty fun one. But I think, out of good conscience, we have to put it in trash. Next up, we have bouldering. How is this a hobby? How is climbing a hobby? I'm sorry. Respectfully.
Climbing a rock.
Yeah.
I will pay its respect. I think it was the yesteryears running.
Yeah. Yes, actually.
I feel like it has come and it has gone. I remember back in the day, bouldering was the thing to do.
I reckon just after COVID, around 2020, 2021, that's when I heard the absolute peak of bouldering. And I haven't heard much since in the last year or so.
Exactly. Anyone go bouldering? Want to try it?
Yeah, I've been bouldering. Never been bouldering?
Never been bouldering. No interest whatsoever.
I will say bouldering is extremely popular in the, honestly, corporate circles. I went out to lunch with a new starter. I was getting to know her a little bit more. Who just rocked up at work, and her main hobby is bouldering. And then 3 other people were like, yeah, I climb as well. I love climbing. Low-key, there's a bit of a crossover between the runners and the climbers. They do both.
I can see that, to be honest.
I will say that people who talk about bouldering, they say the community is top notch. We were talking about making friends in Sydney, and a lot of people had made friends in Sydney through these bouldering gyms because everyone's just super supportive and super welcoming.
Go find other losers like you.
Maybe, but it's still fun to do. I got to say.
It's such a primal thing. You know what I mean? You see something, monkey see, monkey do. You got to climb it.
Yeah. But you're not going to, no respect for bouldering?
I have respect.
I have a bit of respect for it, but how we were talking about what's the hardest, an off-air conversation we're having, this hardest sport to play in the world.
Yeah.
Dare I suggest bouldering is right at the bottom.
Depends.
It depends on the boulder.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
What color are you bouldering?
You just need hands and core strength.
Have you seen Free Solo?
No, what's that?
The documentary?
I know Hope Solo.
Oh yeah.
Where Alex Honnold, he climbs El Capitan in Yosemite.
Dude, I didn't understand a single word.
Oh, there's 2 operating systems.
I'm more of a Sierra man myself.
Dude, this guy climbed a multi-1,000-foot like sheer cliff.
And you raw dogged it?
Raw dogged it.
No.
No ropes.
That is pretty impressive.
So like there's two types. Like there's bouldering where it's like you're climbing actual like in the wild you're doing it, or you just go to the gym and climbing, the rock climbing wall.
But my point is, isn't it boring after a while? Like, for example, you play sport, you have your OzTag, soccer, blah, blah, blah. Every game is different. But in bouldering, aren't you climbing the same? And I understand there's different colors, but again, after a couple of weeks or maybe a couple of months, you've climbed all variations.
Then you go to a different gym.
Nah, they changed the footholds and the handholds. So it changes.
Oh, so it's like golf. They'll move where the hole is.
Yeah. They'll move the pin.
Oh, actually?
Yeah, they'll take out the foothold here and replace it with a blue color instead of a green color. And so there is like, if you join a gym, there's variation there.
Okay.
Fine. I will say though, bouldering is for me, obviously I'm not like a professional boulderer, but
Professional boulder.
your forearms get really like pumped and tired.
Yeah.
So you can realistically climb for like half an hour and then like your job's done. But people stay at the gym for like multiple hours because they'll climb, they'll get pumped up, they'll chill out at the cafe and they'll come back again and do a little bit more climbing. So it's like that sort of thing.
Is it only social or is there a competitive aspect to bouldering as well?
There's like speed climbing.
Yeah, I've seen people speed climb.
That's niche as.
Where are we putting bouldering then? This seems quintessential last resort for me. Like, I'm not going to disrespect it and put it in trash, but I can't see this any higher than last resort.
Yeah, I think it's something, unfortunately, you pick up if you don't have an existing hobby yet.
Or mates.
Hey.
You can find some. But community, I respected. The actual activity, I respected. But last resort, I think, yeah.
All right, next up, we have fitness coach. This seems niche. How many fitness coaches do you guys know?
I feel like there's so many people on Instagram as well that are putting out their workouts, for example.
Okay.
Like they create another Instagram page, put their workouts, put all this, put all that. Then the whole plan is they want to then become a fitness coach or an online PT or stuff like that.
This is, I think, the natural transition from like your gym bro. You take it really seriously, like gym as a hobby. And then obviously you've gotten big as a result of that. And it's now the next step is you teaching others how to get big or how to get fit.
Right.
I think like that's the progression. Anyone who like lifts seriously, I reckon like 80 to 90% of them have some sort of PT business, which they start shilling their like their online courses. Essentially.
Yeah, okay.
It's all over TikTok as well, I feel. People just show their workouts or show fucking their food they eat or something. And that's their account.
Fitness coach for me, I mean like it's fine, but I just think there's too many of them there. And realistically, like how much extra value you're providing? Like all the information's already out there. Eat well, progressively overload.
Yeah.
What extra are you doing?
Yeah, surely as humanity, we've exhausted our scientific research on fitness. Like we know what exercise to do, what to eat, What more could this man tell me that I couldn't find online?
Because I think the problem is fitness coaches make things more complicated.
Yeah, okay.
Like it's very simple. You just eat a lot, figure out your macros, and then you lift.
Well, that was what I was going to say. How, like, isn't fitness like so dependent on your body, your style, right? Like, how could me buying this $300 course, how would he know what exactly my body would need?
Well, like the fitness coach, I guess, like they'll do it personally to you.
Oh, would they? Okay.
They'll figure out your macronutrient need, your, calorie maintenance level. And if you want to gain weight, they'll tell you what to eat as well. Eat more at these times, do these workouts. They'll give you specifics so you don't have to do the Googling basically.
See. So it's for lazy people.
Yeah, I would say so.
To an extent, yeah.
Do we reward that then? Where are we putting this on the tier list?
For me, this is also a last resort.
The last resort, I feel, yeah.
Okay.
It's a fine thing to do. People, I'm sure, get value out of it, but I just don't really see it. All the information's online. You can really do it yourself. If you want to pay someone to tell you, hey, you should eat 400 grams of protein a day, you can do that, but not for me.
Dude, give it to us instead. We'll happily do that here. So fitness coach goes into last resort. Next up, we have clubbing. I feel like I've said this for half of these at this point, is clubbing cannot be a hobby. Something you do for 3 hours or 4 hours on a Friday night and a Saturday night cannot be a hobby.
Some people do these other hobbies once a week.
No, well, most of these you do multiple times a week. Clubbing you do at most once or twice.
Let's just assume that all of these are hobbies.
All right, fine.
We'll view that through the lens because I have to agree with you for this one particularly. I'm finding it very difficult to state it's a hobby.
Let's extend it to raving.
Okay.
Right? That is a hobby. People, mark it on their calendars that these are the events to go. They'll buy outfits. They'll shred for a rave, et cetera, et cetera. They'll purchase other things and it's a hobby. That's a
I actually don't mind the people who are raving, the ravers. I have time for them. I don't mind them.
Do you?
Yeah.
I feel like
what?
you haven't before.
Is this a 180, you reckon?
Yeah, I feel like this is a 180 from you.
No, I've got a certain appreciation from them now. I've matured a bit and I'm like, each to their own. And I can see why people like it.
Why do you appreciate it? What do you see?
Yeah, it's just people having fun at the end of the day. It's young people going out there with, creating memories with their friends.
Beautiful.
They're not harming anyone. They're taking maybe some illicit substances, which is fine. Absolutely no problem with that. So I've actually got no issues with the whole rave culture.
But fundamentally, as a hobby, are you going to put it in the same tier as like gym? That's a goat. Or are you going to put it in the same tier as bouldering, last resort? Where are we? Like, honestly, I'm struggling to find where we put this.
I like it because I think it would be somewhere in the middle. And I think with raving, it kind of goes in hand with travel. You can go around the world and go to different festivals, You can kind of make a whole trip of it.
I feel like
you can't do that with bouldering. I'm not going to Europe to try their bouldering scene. You know what I mean?
I think some people might.
Yeah. You're not.
But not as big as raving. I think the community as well is another big thing.
Yes.
It's a huge community, especially in Sydney and Melbourne.
It's the people against the police, the dogs.
Yeah.
So that's in itself is a pretty cool
us against them, against the world.
Against the establishment. So again, I respect that.
Yeah. I'm not seeing what you guys are saying. Yeah, I'm sorry. For me, fundamentally, this is like as loose as a hobby that you can get. And like, I simply cannot in good conscience put it anywhere on the same levels as what we've previously done.
Look, I get what you're saying, but I like the thing about raving as well is it's like a sportsman's career. You've only got about 10 years where you can rave. And like, you can't be raving as a 40-year-old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you've only got a finite amount of time to go and enjoy yourself and do these things. So that again adds a bit of mystique to me as well.
I can respect it. Again, the sense of community and all of that, and have fun. It is what it is. It's not harming anyone. Keep it off my Instagram feed, please.
All right. So where are we putting clubbing/raving?
All things considered, I think Ro makes a good point in terms of we can't put on the same levels as some of the ones at the top. Serviceable, I think, where it should go.
A few more to go. We just put clubbing in serviceable. Next up, we have entrepreneurship. So, starting a business, starting a startup, however you want to take it.
So we're including like, those small little Instagram businesses people start.
Absolutely. Yeah,
and as well as like other
Hustlers
businesses.
University.
Those sort of nefarious activities.
Yeah.
I have time for this.
Oh, I have plenty of time for this.
For the average person to just go and put their ambitions out there and start a business, I'm a big fan. There's so many different types of businesses these days.
Chase your dreams. I'm all for it.
Well, like food related ones, I think these days, people starting to bake and stuff
Betty's
like that.
baking, Barry's barbecuing, all those kind of Instagram pages that I see,
And people making clothes maybe.
Yeah. Let's rattle off what's the most common ones you reckon we see? I reckon food is up there.
Yeah.
Baking especially.
Selling baked goods.
Number one,
I got to say.
Like selling goods online, like either be drop shipping or what does our friend do? Jess, she does.
Oh, she sells like digital artworks and stuff.
Oh yeah, you dabbled in a bit of that as well.
Dabbled.
Profited nicely.
I went balls deep into selling digital artworks.
But there's all sorts.
People making music, does that count? I don't know.
Nah, no, that's not like an entrepreneur. That's not really a business type thing.
There's all sorts is what we're trying to say.
Yeah.
Different varieties.
What I like about this is that you can take it as seriously as you want.
Correct.
Like you can go real head first and quit your job and basically chase a dream to change the world. You can try and go like get investment and funding and all that sort of stuff. Or you can do like a little small mum and pop shop selling pickles.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm saying that the world is your oyster.
You can go as big or as small as you want.
Yeah. And that flexibility I feel like is super important.
I agree.
Because it means that you can spend as much time as you want doing your little hobby and you can change.
Because not everyone wants their, business to be their main thing. Some people just honestly want it to be a side little thing where they can, be creative and whatnot. And then that's it.
For me, I think it's a very good hobby.
I was going to even push it up to GOAT even.
No, I think it's good. Can't be GOAT because at the end of the day, I don't think it's as much pleasure. It's work at the end of the day as well.
Oh, if you love what you do, you'll never have to
after a while, it becomes work, my friend. That saying is a sham. But I think after a while, you'll still enjoy it, but it's not just pure enjoyment like some of the other ones we have on the list.
But I think out of all of things that we have on our list, I think the sense of pride in, building something and, people knowing about it and selling products to people, I think that's surely that counts for something.
That's why it pushes up to good for me.
Yeah, I think it's good as well.
All right. Good it is. Next up, we have gaming.
Woo.
Gambling is a sort of type of gaming.
Get off the gambling. Right. We're not counting gambling. What are we going to do? Video games, board games, mobile games?
Board games?
What are the
board games does not count as gaming.
Gaming I thought was purely video games.
We'll talk video games. Yeah. I think this is a quintessential hobby. I'm a huge dabbler in this myself. I bought multiple games recently. I'm having the time of my life. Filling up so many hours of my day.
Isn't this a very male-dominated hobby?
Not necessarily.
I would say it's probably 90 to 80-20. I'll give you.
You're not just playing the games that maybe other genders are into.
Playing Barbie or something? Sims was a very gender-neutral game, I would say.
That is true. Sims was a very gender-neutral game.
Everyone played that.
A lot of females play like League, for example.
Rugby.
And League of Legends, the games like that. I think you're overplaying how male-dominated it is. I think it's more universal than you're letting it to be.
Either way, it doesn't really matter. It's a hobby nonetheless. I think it's a waste of time, to be perfectly honest.
That is a hot take.
I
like it. It's good.
It's a hot take.
It's a very hot take.
The man who only stopped gaming because the controller broke and is too cheap to buy another one. Yep.
Why do you think it's a waste of time?
As in, like, it just feels non-constructive. Like, you're never proud of your kid for playing games. You know what I mean?
What if they went pro with it?
No, forget the pro. It's a hobby.
Oh, yeah, okay. So forget the whole side of it where you can make a living out of it and focus on,
No, because again, no one makes a living out of it.
Yes, they do.
Like, this
is literally the day and age where you can very much, if you're good enough, you can make.
But if we're talking purely as a hobby, are you proudly announcing to people that you love to game?
Yeah, but here's my counterpoint. Why does everything in life have to be about productivity and being constructive and all that? Why is this hustle culture has gone too far, man?
Remember,
what's a couple hours of your 24 hours? It's something that's relaxing.
A hobby is something you do in your time, like your leisure time, where you want to have a bit of fun.
Yeah, I'm not saying quit your job and play games all the time.
Exactly.
Definitely not. But hard day at work, let's say you've done what you need to do, cook, whatever. You got a couple hours at the end of the day, you want to relax. Am I going to say now to you, start a fucking small business because you need to be productive all the time? No.
But I've never heard, I don't know, like everyone I've talked to about gaming, they're like, oh, I got to try and limit my game usage. I've never heard people be like, oh, I really want to game more. Like that's not really like something that people say.
Of course, no one would say that because they've got other things to do in their life.
Anything that's pure pleasure and stuff like that. Of course, you're going to say, I can't do it too much.
You have to it's like wanking. You can't wank too much.
Fuck, is that a hobby we should add to the...
But like, for example, I would say I want to gym more or I want to play soccer more or I want to like do literally any of those that I respect as hobbies. I'd be like, I want to do them more. I don't respect that as a hobby. But like for gaming, yes, it's fun. I'm not denying that it's not fun. I also had the time of my life playing Fortnite and Call of Duty.
End it there. End the conversation there.
But I think I don't know. I think it's not a respectable hobby.
It's because like you're self-aware, it's not productive, but it's still something to do, right? I think if, for example, if Sen had all the time in the world and could do everything, he'd say he'd also like to play a bit more FIFA, for example, right? But he knows the other responsibilities in life he's also got to do.
I have a friend who like loves to game and he is actively trying to limit the time he does do that because it's just like, yeah, I don't know. It feels like it can really get out of hand quite quickly in like a negative way. You know what I mean?
Can't you say that about all hobbies?
You say about most things.
I guess so. I just think gaming is a little bit more, it's a bit more in your face like that.
All right. So where are we putting gaming on the tier list?
I think it is good.
Oh.
I think it is good. Again, it is a universal thing. Most people, it is pure like pleasure, enjoyment. Most people do it.
Yeah.
Take away the self-control. You can't self-control yourself. All these things on the list you can get addicted to. That's not the question.
You can game on your own and you can game with your friends. It brings people together. It also tears people apart.
That's besides the point.
Two gamers here. Sen, what are your thoughts on gaming?
I agree with Mano. I think it should be in the good category because it's something you can do at any age. I remember scrolling through the FIFA subreddit and people be like, I'm a 40-year-old dad of 2 kids. I'm always working and then looking after the kids. And in the spare time I have, I love to just sit down and just play FIFA. It lets me, escape from my family, essentially, is what he's saying. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that what life is about? Getting away from your wife and kids?
Exactly. You need something and it's gaming.
Oh, look, I can't argue with you two. So wherever you want to put it, I'm happy. But in my opinion, it is a serviceable option. Maybe pushing last resort, but I can see the value in it.
All right, into good it goes. All right, 2 more. Next up, OzTag. All right, OzTag, or I guess this can be representative of any sport that you can play, but we'll stick to just OzTag only.
I got to say, look, I think I'm heavily biased towards like physical activity because I'm thinking this is up there as good/goat. Again, like rugby league is a very inaccessible sport to play. I remember playing when I was a young child, but as a small boy, I was getting absolutely hammered.
Hey?
Like I was literally getting plowed through by like young Samoan boys. Essentially. And I was like, all right, look, I got to give this sport up. I thought I could never have the chance to play again. And then what becomes popular maybe 15 years later? Bill Harrigan has rocked up with a sport, invented a little sport called OzTag, where you can play rugby league, but instead of, getting the CTE associated with that, simply you just pull the tags off. That's all it is.
I agree with that. I remember when I was young, my parents would never let me play rugby league or rugby union just purely because I was way too small and I would have been trampled, like you said. So I think that's great. It's a sport that we all love and it's non-contact. You can play mix, so girls and boys, so very accessible to everyone, to all ages as well. I've seen little kids play and I've seen adults over 30s play. Great sport. What more can you say?
Fair enough. I agree with those points, but just to be on the devil's advocate side, right? The injuries that come with OzTag. Right? You do say it's a social sport, a mixed sport, something to do just for a bit of fun. It's not a serious sport, but I think OzTag is a sport where I've heard and seen the most injuries out of any sport by far.
Yeah, I've seen deny that, to be honest.
Like people's like major injuries, like ACLs and all this, from people that really play sport to even some people that's the only sport they play for a bit of fun. You know what I mean? So I think there's a lot of risk. I myself have been injured. I'm somewhat retired from OzTag because my shoulder and my hands have taken a beating from the sport. So that's a risk to be involved. I hear, people saying you might kill rugby league because all the kids are playing OzTag now, not rugby league.
Not a chance.
That's what I've heard in some circles.
I will say that, speaking about the community, then we play in a team together. You've played multiple teams. People, you play OzTag, you go to dinner afterwards. Very nice. I don't know. There's a bit of sense of community around the sport.
Yeah, I think much more than probably any other sport where, like, for example, a football, for example, soccer, it's a bit more business only. You rock up, we come to win, and that's it. After the game, maybe you go for a few beers and that's it. I feel like OzTag is a much more community-based sport. You play multiple teams. After a while, you kind of know everyone who plays.
Yeah, literally. Like you sign in at the canteen desk and everyone knows each other's name.
Yeah.
Like it's quite nice.
I think, that's the main draw of OzTag that most community sports don't have. It's very social. You get to know everyone.
And there's a corporate aspect as well. Like there's corporate tournaments and corporate competitions.
Yeah, you can play during lunchtime if you want.
Yeah, like you can, with your business itself or your company, you can make a team at work and go play with them. So I agree. I think in terms of the community aspect, it is up there. So where are we putting it?
I'd like to put it as good.
Yeah, I don't think it's GOAT. I definitely don't think it's GOAT, but I don't think it's serviceable. So I think good is really the only place we can put it. All right, so OzTag goes in good. And finally, the last one, we have traveling.
A mammoth hobby.
I ranted about this at work the other day. Like, how can you have travel as a hobby? I was watching a TV show and they were introducing contestants and they're like, oh, I love traveling. I have wanderlust, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, that's not a person. Everyone loves travel. How is that unique to you, dude? Like, if that's all you have going for you, I'm sorry, that's a bit boring.
I know a couple of people that don't.
Yeah, I also know a couple of people who don't like traveling too.
Like I've like a friend at work, they've never traveled and they don't have any interest in traveling.
See, that scares me. That's some sociopathic behavior.
As in with their money, they'd rather save up for a house. They'd rather do other things. The idea of travel is not as appealing. I myself, not the biggest traveler. I wouldn't say traveling is my keen hobby of mine.
Okay. All right. Maybe I'm misguided there then.
I would say that like the majority of money that I save, I put aside to just go places.
Yeah.
Because I think it's fun. I think you like get to experience new cultures. You get to hang out with people in different environments and see how everyone reacts and
eat different foods.
Like there's a lot of, positive aspects for me.
Yeah.
Which is why I think it's a great hobby.
Yeah. Like you said, I think it's such a good thing for people to travel because just mainly you get to experience different cultures. You get to see how other people live and work and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, you get a bit more worldly.
It opens your mind up. Like if you've only, to your point, Manu, if your friend who's only ever lived in Sydney and blah, like that's all he's ever known, like it's so hard to be a rounded human if you've never left, you've never gone further west than the Blue Mountain.
Look, I also got to say, it's something that I feel like people look forward to it. Like their whole year is leading up to that trip, that 4 weeks of annual leave that they have. Maybe they've trained a trip to New Zealand. Maybe they're going to Europe. Like everything leads up to that. It's like the highlight and the pinnacle of the year.
Traveling for me means you're on holiday. You don't have to think about work. You don't have to think about your normal day to day. It's, turn your brain off, you're on vacation. You're having fun. It's leisure.
So surely by this metric, right? I feel like most people like enjoy traveling.
Yeah.
Maybe we enjoy it more than most.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like there's no downsides. Like literally all on the subreddits, if you look at like Oz Finance, the most frugal of people, right? They'll like some like 21-year-old kid will ask, oh, I have $10,000. Like, what should I invest it in? And all of the top comments are always like, don't worry about investing at that age. Go travel and just like experience the world.
Yeah, everyone's like, go see the world.
Yeah.
So, why not? And dude, also just quietly, travel doesn't have to mean you go overseas. Even just exploring Australia and seeing what Australia has to offer is still, it's just life changing. You go see the Barrier Reef, Uluru, literally wonders of the world.
In your backyard. Yeah, I agree. For me, this has got to go.
Yeah,
I think it has to be. There's no negative. A bit expensive, but like it's worth it's worth it infinitely. So GOAT, definitely.
All right, so travel will go into GOAT. So our full list is in GOAT. We have gym and traveling. In good, we have running, small business, gaming, and OzTag. In serviceable, we have food influencing, clubbing, and raving. In last resort, we have bouldering and fitness coach. And in trash, we have car. Disagree. Lifestyle influencing and sports betting.
You know what? In retrospect, car maybe a bit.
You guys have done car so dirty.
But it's not that low that I'm going to say let's redo it. I'm still happy with where it is.
I feel like it still should be last resort. But anyway, I'm happy with the rest of that list. That brings us to an end of a very long episode from the looks of it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Thanks for listening. You can catch our full episodes on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Also go into our YouTube, give us a subscribe there, find our full videos there. And obviously find us on Instagram and TikTok for all of our clips and stories as well, where we put up our call outs for you guys to give us content. So
we need that. Actually, go on the Instagram.
So if you want to have a say in what you listen to, please go follow us there.